We're back again, folks, with another whiskey tasting for you. Today we've got something that is one of my personal favorites. We've got Baby Blue from Balcones. So Baby Blue is, as we start getting into these fall and winter months, whiskey is great for any season of the year. This particular season, this is whiskey season. When you're sitting around the fire, you're sitting outside at a campsite, you're hanging out with your friends or your family, and you're looking for a nice go-to whiskey. You don't want to spend a lot of money, but you're looking for something that's going to give you a great value at a great price. One of the recommendations I've got for you is Baby Blue. So this comes out of Texas. First whiskey on the market since Prohibition. So it is crafted from the roasted heirloom corn that is locally sourced in Texas. They really capture the essence of that corn, the roundness, the refined complexity, the roasted overtones of the corn. Really is amazing. So you're going to find out, you've sat through a number of these tastings so far, so you're going to find out that the only problem with a bottle of whiskey is there's never enough whiskey in the bottle. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dive into this, and we're gonna find out what we have here. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is look at that color. Look at how it's a very, very light caramel color. Now don't let the color fool you. I know when you're looking at a number of different whiskeys out there, you might be looking at something and say, oh, it's not dark enough, it's not red enough, it doesn't have that typical bourbon look, which would be the dark brown. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't like dark brown liquor. Well, one thing you've learned so far by drinking enough whiskey is those typical Kentucky colors are going to bring you that deep caramel. With this is going to bring you caramel also. That is just a nice, easy, light color. So when I say this is one of my personal favorites, we're going to dive in here and we're going to find out what's in here. Now, this is unlike any other whiskey you've had. And $45 a bottle really is an amazing buy at $45. So let's go nose. So there are a number of flavors that hit you right off the bat. But there's one flavor in particular that I'd like you to look for. When you go into this whiskey, and you don't nose too aggressively, there's going to be a flavor that is right in the middle of your nose. That flavor is going to be not just a flavor, but a feeling. It's going to be almost a powdery substance. So when you dive in there, you look for that powdery substance. If you haven't figured it out, it's going to be baker's chocolate. So it's going to be cocoa. When you find that cocoa, you can start looking for all the other flavors that are around it, like the melted butter, the caramel corn, the vanilla, the toffee, the nutmeg. Oh, the nutmeg is subtle, but it's so nice. There's honey. It's more like, so the honey is going to be a little bit thicker honey, almost like a Manuka honey. And right before that honey, you're going to find a really nice flavor in there. It is baked bread. The melted butter, you can get that right away. And then right behind the melted butter, you find the sweetness of the kettle corn. Then you'll find cinnamon, a little bit of cinnamon. It just comes up nice and smooth. It's just a subtle cinnamon that comes right up into you. Little bit of, so you got to go deep in there, but there's a little bit of ground coffee. This is truly delightful, folks. So now that we found the melted butter, the caramel corn, we found the toffee, we found the vanilla, the nutmeg. There's so many different flavors in there. Now we're going to go ahead and taste it. And this is where it's really going to blow your mind. So go ahead, take a little sip. Now you're going to do 5 to 6 seconds or so. You're going to move it around your mouth for about 5 to 6 seconds. Okay. When you swallow this, brown sugar is going to come up right away. Behind the brown sugar, there's this sweet tea with a little bit of lemon. You'll find the lemon toward the back of your mouth, right up on the roof of your mouth. Slight, but is there. You get some smoked chilies as it's starting to come backward, a little bit of smoked chili. So now you find yourself tasting the roof of your mouth. You're finding that dried apricot on the roof of your mouth and maybe some tropical fruit in there also. More of a flavor like a candy corn. The sweet tea just sits there. Now you let this sit a little bit. And now it's on the roof of your mouth. It's starting to move backward a little bit on the roof of your mouth. That sweet tea is moving backward slightly. You're getting a little bit more lemon right on your tongue, a little bit more of that lemon that goes along with the sweet tea. And then the finish starts coming in. It's long. It's a long finish, but it's a medium finish, I would say. It's long, medium. It just hangs there nicely, moves around a little bit. A little bit of cinnamon starts coming in the back end. You can taste that a little bit more toward the back of your mouth, almost toward your palate. You've got some leather, a little bit of mint too. There's some mint in there. There's a little bit of, maybe there's some, well, okay, so now there's right back here, you've got some leather, a little bit of leather spice. And of course, there's a peppercorn. So this is really at $45 a bottle. This is an amazing, amazing value. You're not going to find this at too many establishments. When you go out looking for a drink, you're not necessarily going to find Baby Blue. If you go into a liquor store looking for it, you can find it at certain liquor stores, but you should ask at the counter if they'll order it for you. I have a place down the street for me here in Maryland that they'll order it for me. Their distributor will have it there in a day. And I used to pay, I would say about 5 or 6 years ago, I used to pay about $60 a bottle for this. Now you're looking at about $45. This is an incredible, incredible whiskey at $45 as it captures the essence of the corn and that round nuttiness that you'll find in the corn. The roasted overtones of that corn. Now don't forget, it's locally sourced blue corn from Texas. Let's go back in for, as I said, there's never enough whiskey in the bottle. So let's go back in here, have another taste. Let's see what else we can find in here. Okay, the apricot is now even more prevalent. The cotton candy shows up on the roof of your mouth. As you find these flavors moving backward, that's where you're really finding the sweet tea, the lemon sitting on the roof of your mouth, moving backward from the bottom, moving forward. You got a little bit of that smoked chili and a tropical fruit. The tropical fruit really brings everything together. Folks, it really is a dream here at $45. It's one of my personal favorites. When I go out skiing, I love to fill my flask with a little Baby Blue. When you go out to, I don't know, you're going out this time of year, maybe a month ago, you're going out picking pumpkins. Great idea to throw a little bit of this in your flask. This is the time that you're going to be sitting outside by a fire. You're going to be sitting outside in those cool, crisp fall and winter nights. And this is the warmer that you're looking for. Whiskey is said by Jim McEwen. internal heating, as it should be. And I can't think of a better internal heater than a little baby blue for this time of year. So go ahead, send in your questions, folks. Anything that you might have questions on. I always love when somebody asks me to do a particular tasting for you. I'm always willing to do that. So I hope you guys can get out and find yourself a little baby blue. Until next time, folks, enjoy that dram.